Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and welcome back to Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And I just want to welcome my wonderful panel of guest critics tonight. We have Rachel Kolb. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, good to be back.
Definitely. Mr. Eric Godfrey, welcome back, sir.
Also good to be here.
And this gentleman here, Mr. Faris Bennett.
Randy, great to be back.
Anytime. Welcome, guys. So happy to have you back. And we have some exciting stuff to talk about tonight. But first, I just want to go around and talk about what we're watching. I'll start. I've been deciding to get into the classics, kind of educate me film-wise. I've been watching a few Billy Wilder films, starting off with The Lost Weekend, which is amazing. It's, if you guys haven't seen it, it won Best Picture, 1945. It stars Ray Milland as an alcoholic, and it's just a really brilliant film, and it's depressing, but at the same time a little hopeful. But I don't want to give anything away, but it is a classic film, and Billy Wilder is definitely on my list of favorite directors of all time. It's fantastic. Also Stalag 17, a war drama from I believe it's from the 50s, and it's also very good. And I'm also revisiting some of Alfred Hitchcock's classics as well.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, okay, great. And some new stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Next on my queue is Dial M for Murder, also starring Ray Milland. So I'm going to get into that probably after this show. So what Hitchcock movies are?
Well, the one actually last night I just saw Rope for the first time.
Okay, great.
Ooh.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff. So I'm going to try to see everything he's ever done because he's amazing.
Yeah, for me, Psycho is the one that I tend to watch the most frequently.
Of course.
And also North by Northwest and
right. Vertigo, Rear Window is amazing too. And
The Birds.
Of course, The Birds, yes. But for you, sir, I know just 2 nights ago you saw a childhood favorite.
Yes, I went to go. Actually revisiting a childhood favorite on the big screen, Batman Forever.
Awesome.
Because they were doing at Nighthawk Cinema in Prospect Park, because they were doing as part of their Reconsider This series, where they take a movie that was a critical or financial dud upon release and show it to an audience for reevaluation.
Now, I was about 10 years old when I saw it in the big screen.
I was 7 when it came out.
Yeah.
My dad took me to see it on opening weekend.
What was it like seeing it on the big screen again?
You recognize how silly. Now as a 35-year-old, I recognize how silly and campy it is, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Although, I will say though that Chris O'Donnell is way too old to be Robin.
Yeah. But the age difference between him and Val Kilmer was like not even 10 years. Give it
like just a little, barely.
And it's a little creepy and homoerotic, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, Chris O'Donnell's agent was working overtime at that point to get him in any project.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the one?
He was coming off of what was it, Scent of a Woman?
That was 92.
Yeah, Scent of a Woman, Three Musketeers, and then a few others.
And he did
It was the hot thing.
A John Grisham adaptation.
I know which one you're talking about.
The Chamber, I think it was.
Sounds about right.
But I will say though, and I also say that Tommy Lee Jones, he could have been a great Two-Face, but he hammed it up too much.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Val Kilmer is an underrated Batman. Yeah. And Jim Carrey is still very fun to watch as the Riddler.
He was terrific.
Nothing better than a movie about the movie psychologically fixes Bruce Wayne and solves the conundrum between Bruce and Batman. And
yes.
We got to go to the next movie anyway. He's still tortured us. We can't solve Batman. There's no Batman afterwards.
I don't think he was that great of a Batman. I didn't think he was a good Bruce Wayne, as a matter of fact. I thought he was lackluster, to be honest. Because how can you follow Michael Keaton? It's like not.
Yeah.
But I feel like with his Bruce Wayne, he was at least, because something I kind of noticed, like as time goes, watching the Burton Batman movies, is that Keaton's Bruce Wayne. I mean, I still think Keaton's the better Batman, but his Bruce Wayne, it's like he feels like very much like an everyman. And as I see him as an everyman rather than Bruce Wayne, whereas Val Kilmer, I could buy him as a billionaire industrialist playboy. I could buy him as a celebrity.
Plus, I did like the scene where he first meets Edward Nygma.
Yes,
I thought they had a pretty good chemistry in that one scene.
Well, we're also neglecting the interesting acting choice of Nicole Kidman to play a character who is turned on by everything in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
She's very thirsty.
Black rubber.
Skin
Yeah.
tight vinyl
It's
and a
like,
whip.
ooh, the floor, ooh,
Well,
rubber.
she turns into
ooh.
that scene from the Friends
Yeah.
Thanksgiving episode where Monica's like rubbing pasta.
It's
on her-
like pretend everything turns you on.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a little ridiculous, but like you said, it is a very fun film. It's an exciting ride.
Yeah.
It's just a little silly, and yeah,
Just a little,
right?
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit silly.
Joel Schumacher's choices are very questionable.
Yeah.
I think the
Lots of
problem
butt-
is,
get a lot of butt shots.
Yep. The
yeah,
nipple-
I think it's one of those ones. If you watch it again now, divorced from everything, I think it's fine. I think the problem is that Shoemaker's style is so radically, like, you have Burton's dark, gothic, industrial Gotham, and then Schumacher coming in and being like, it's bright, it's neon, huge, giant statues of like Atlas holding up the world, and it's like,
right.
it's such a drastic reamount, and so that you have such a drastic difference between Burton's movies and his, that just going from one to the other, it's so hard to overcome that.
And his visual style is so out of left field because
Right.
all his other films are pretty much based in reality.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, I mean, I feel like you watch The Lost Boys and Falling Down, or the Client,
or St. Elmo's Fire.
yeah, like those kinds of movies. Like I feel like looking back, like on paper, he should have been a perfect, a perfect Batman director.
I don't know what
It's the problem of he wanted to do an Adam West Batman. That's what he was going for.
Well, that and also
I think
Warner Brothers got a lot of backlash from Batman Returns, so they want they
make
make
it
something
cartoony.
something
being
they
too
sell-
dark and too.
They wanted something that could sell toys and Happy Meals.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Shoemaker basically was like, fine, I'll make a big budget version of the Adam West era.
Yeah. And it's a hit or miss, but
Yeah.
I was, as a kid, it kind of turned me off and made me not so excited for Batman and Robin. But we could probably continue the Batman discussion another time.
Yeah,
I wanted to,
but I would also say this is the fourth,
Yeah.
because this is probably a new record for me. This is actually the fourth Batman movie with the third different Batman actor that I've seen in theaters this year.
okay, then. Nice.
Yeah, because earlier
Paul
this,
Guinness,
I gotta
right?
say earlier this year we saw the first two Burton movies at Nighthawk.
Right.
I saw The Batman 4 times when it came out.
4 times. Wow.
And then
Okay.
this one.
All right. Paul Guinness.
Yes.
What else have you been watching, Forrest?
What else have I been watching? I did see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay. Right.
Another superhero movie with Forever in the title.
Huh.
And I was wasn't quite sure how they were gonna like proceed with this one with Chadwick Boseman gone.
Mm.
But I was pleasantly surprised. It was really
Okay.
it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I hear the costume design is amazing. So, and yeah, I'm sure it's got some great Easter eggs as well. No spoilers.
Of course.
Yeah. But how about you guys? What have you been watching these days?
Well, not to drag it back to Batman, but with the unfortunate passing of Kevin Conroy.
Yes, actually, I've been.
Right.
Me too. I've been binge watching the animated series.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
So I've been jumping back into the animated Batman Beyond, Justice League. I mean, you have a man who
Same
has
here.
been the definitive voice of Batman in so much for 30 years.
30 years. I know.
And just gone too soon.
I know.
Yeah.
I was in kindergarten when Batman the Animated Series
Yeah.
debuted. So
Yeah.
he has been Batman for most of my life. I mean,
It's just like the fact that it's I don't think that anyone's ever going to do it better. I think Mask of the Phantasm is one of the best Batman movies ever made, and Conroy captured a
the best
Bruce
Batman
Wayne and
movie.
Batman dynamic. Yeah, it's just
It definitely has the best depiction of his origin story for sure.
Yeah, no, I remember my cousin taking me to see it just a few blocks from here,
Oh, really?
over at the Forest Hills Theater.
The Midway.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
and so it's been really nice going back and celebrating a man who just did so much work and clearly should still be doing more, but I just
Alive.
nobody did it better. And it's like, Kevin Conroy, just one of the best.
And with all these DCU movies, these animated films, you do have a bunch of Batman voice actors, and
none of them can really compare.
they can't hold a candle to Conroy.
Right.
Conroy was
I mean, there's a reason why even like the game, like the Arkham series games, the Injustice games, and even like there was a recent one, and it's always the default they go back to is Conroy's Batman. It's the same with Hamill's Joker. It's just they set the gold standard by when you see, especially the animated version. And thankfully, Conroy did get to play an old live action Bruce, I believe it was on
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh,
yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths. He finally got to play the Final Crisis Bruce Wayne, which was fantastic.
Was that the Flash?
It was all of them: Flash, Arrow.
Yeah, Black Arrow, Supergirl.
Yeah,
Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay. Well, at least
he got to play. He got to play a version of Bruce Wayne that was kind of not quite Batman Begins or Batman Beyond.
I would say more Kingdom Come.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Come because he has the exoskeleton. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
But Kevin Conroy, the absolute best.
This episode is dedicated to his memory for sure. He was one of a kind. It's gone way too soon.
Yeah.
He wasn't that old. Yeah, 66.
He was 66, and
he was 66. Yeah.
I think it was cancer that.
Unfortunately. And also, if you get a chance to, he wrote a excellent it was for DC Pride. It was he wrote a comic book about the story about him being cast as Batman, and it's an absolute must read.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, same. Rachel, how about you? What are you watching? What non-Batman stuff are you watching?
Yes. I'll give a shout out to two things come immediately to mind. I have been watching Abbott Elementary weekly. It is just continuing to just be excellent TV, excellent comedy. Barbara, it just continues to be one of the MVPs of that show. It's difficult because each episode I feel like they allow different cast members to shine. Like it's almost like the best years of The Office, where you get certain episodes that are focused on different characters, but it's just continually a great ensemble comedy.
Okay. Is it in the vein of The Office? Is it that style, like mockumentary?
Very much so. Yeah, they set up from the first episode that the premise is that it's a documentary team coming in to document underprivileged elementary schools in the Philadelphia area. And that's the initial premise. But it's, despite that sounding kind of dour, it is a very funny show. It's basically all of these teachers doing their best in difficult situations, sometimes of underfunding, of having to compete with local charter schools, of just like even getting parents engaged, and just it's really good stuff. And also Quinta Brunson, who is the lead of that, is actually in one of the movies we'll be discussing tonight. Cool. So
very nice.
And the second thing I've been watching is The Vow Part 2 on HBO, which is the documentary series about the cult Nexium, and about basically where the first part left off was the arrest of its leader, and the second part follows the trial and subsequent sentencing of its leader, and a lot of the leadership turning on him and basically giving testimony against him.
Is that on Netflix? I think
that's on HBO Max.
That's HBO Max.
Yeah, I think I remember watching that.
But Abbott Elementary is on Netflix, I believe.
No, that's Hulu. It's on
Hulu. It's on Hulu, right. But it's also on HBO Max because I think that the production of it, is like a collaboration between a couple different production companies. So I think HBO Max recently added, right before the second season aired, they added the first season on there. I think the second season of Abbott Elementary is also going on there live, but I'm not sure about that. I know for certain that weekly you can watch it on Hulu.
Okay. I'm going to add Abbott Elementary to my list, my ever-growing list of stuff. But why don't we get into our first review, guys?
All right.
Yes.
All right. So now this film, I believe, is still in theaters. It is also on.
Actually, it's on HBO.
Is it just HBO Max?
I just saw it on HBO Max.
I believe so,
yeah. I think it might be limited, but it's definitely on HBO Max right now. And of course, I'm talking about the weird, dramatic thriller that is "Don't Worry, Darling." And it basically stars Florence Pugh and Harry Styles as a married couple, a young married couple in the 1950s.
Was it the early 60s?
Hold on a second.
50s, 60s.
Yeah, it's basically
it's
idyllic.
nebulous.
Yeah, like
It's idyllic. Leave it to Beaver.
yeah.
So basically, they live in this cul-de-sac where everything is very controlled, everything is very ordered, and it's just, it feels like a perfect existence. But they're
Utopia.
yes, perfect utopia. But then Florence Pugh's character starts to suspect some foul play, something dark and sinister under behind the scenes here. And she's basically the only person in this small suburban town, this utopia, who suspects foul play. Nobody pretty much believes her, including her husband. We also have Chris Pine, who's fantastic as this like sinister boss who we don't really know what he's up to. Florence Pugh
What
is
do they make at the factory?
we'll never know. We'll never find out. But Florence Pugh is fantastic in this. I think this is probably my favorite. Probably Midsommar and this are my favorite. And all the wrestling was the Fighting with My Family.
Yeah, Fighting with My Family.
I would say for me, I would say Midsommar, Little Women, and
Little Women.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's great, but this movie just it just showcases her talent once again. She's fantastic.
Yes.
She's beautiful too. I might have a little crush on her, but
join the club.
Yes, she's fantastic, and she's only, I think, 26 years old, so she's got plenty more great performances ahead of her. I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say that Harry Styles is a good actor, but this movie, he did not impress me whatsoever.
I haven't a chance to see Dunkirk yet, but I've heard good things about
Dunkirk is a really great film, but I don't.
And
really
he's got My Policeman also that's coming out.
Yeah,
here.
I haven't seen that yet. That'll be my second try at trying to appreciate his acting ability. But don't worry, darling, he didn't do it for me.
He was perfectly serviceable. He was
Yeah.
fine. You could put in a number of other actors and they would have done as well, if not better.
Like Shia LaBeouf. But we're gonna get into that the production issues in one moment. I just want to hear from you guys. Overall, what do you think of the film? What do you think of Don't Worry, Darling, Eric?
I was fine. It's one of those ones where, I mean, kind of hinting. I agree with you. I think Florence Pugh falls right now where she is career-wise. She is always that. She holds up a film. Like you give her a film, she elevates it. So if you give her something fantastic, like say Midsommar, or if you give her, it's something good like her in Black Widow or Hawkeye, she will always just like, it just radiates when she's on there. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why even Marvel is just like keeping her employed right now, like for.
Well, something like Fighting with My Family.
Yeah, Fighting with My Family.
That could have very easily been just a like direct to streaming movie that nobody would have really, like very few people would have cared about, but she makes it so very, very good. You really care about her.
Yeah. And so then she carries this movie. And I think Pine also is one of those ones that just, again, elevates everything. And so I think you have I think Olivia Wilde is a very good filmmaker. I think she's very smart. She's very good with actors when it comes to actually filming the stuff. So I think she knows how to get good performances. I think she knows how to give them good worlds to live in. I just think the problem is, like I said, ironically enough, that once you start peeling back the facade, it's like, oh, there's not really much there. It's kind of like you have a beautiful set dressing, but it just leaves you feeling empty at the end.
The script. Yeah, I think the script for me, the weak spot. The script was the weak weak spot.
We've seen this story many times before.
I mean, Stepford Wives, The Truman Show.
And also, I'm going to go very obscure with you guys right now, but in about 1995, USA Network had a TV movie called The Colony, starring John Ritter. It was John Ritter and his family. They moved to this, like, basically a cul-de-sac like this, and the guy who runs it is like totally evil. We don't know what the hell's going on. But that was a much better movie. I love John Ritter. That's why I love that movie. Right. But we've seen this, Stepford Wives is another example.
It also has shades of Last Night in Soho also. Like especially the parts with
Obviously,
like
it's
the
the style.
reflections changing. That
Mhm.
that also gave a little bit of like the Black Swan kind of that sort of
Mhm.
vibe to it.
Yeah.
Like the scene in the bathtub when she like lowers herself down, but the reflection stays there.
Yeah, that was freaky. That was a
You
really
know, I was
quick
talking with
movie.
Rachel after we watched it on streaming, and it was one of those ones where I like the premise. I have even when the twist when all is revealed, which we're not going into exact details, but it's like that didn't even bother me. I'm like, okay, cool. But I think the problem was if you're going to give a world like that, I kind of wish they would have had more fun.
Yeah.
Like when you do that, there's a lot more possibilities you open up with. And so the fact that they kind of went in a very boring, like I said, very empty route, once the twist is revealed, once the truth is unveiled, it's like you could have done a lot more. And we were spitballing back and forth. And it's like you could have done this, could have done this, could have done this, could have done this.
Mhm.
And it's like I wish they would have been more imaginative.
Right.
Yeah.
More
Ambitious, yeah.
adventurous, ambitious.
Yes.
They could have, because again, we have seen this story done 100 times before.
Right.
And you have such a great cast here, with the exception of Harry Styles. They could have really made this film a lot better than it was.
Is
Yeah.
and I can cut this out later if need be, but is it too far like into getting into what the twist is to say they could have almost gone the free guy route with this?
I don't think. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay,
But
just making sure. Didn't
Well,
didn't want to get too
yeah, a
spoiled.
slight spoil. Yeah, it does get into like a weird science fiction territory in the last
Right.
act, which I think they could have done without,
Or they should have developed it more.
right. That's
Right. I'm with
Yeah.
Forrest. I'm like, you have that cool. It's like
Yeah.
you need to
Right.
expand. Instead of when they should have been expanding, it's we're done. And
Yeah,
it's like, no, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's a 2 hour long movie, and it could have been an hour and 30 minutes and had a lot more
Right.
power to that twist, that you don't wait as long for the twist, and then
Agreed.
you could have had more fun with it after that. And also maybe even spend a little bit more time with some of the characters, like Gemma Chan's character, which she has this moment at the end where she delivers like a line that's supposed to be like a big like a oh I got you line, and it's like but what?
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
what?
like, I just felt like the question mark just rise above my head.
it's so disappointing because this is Olivia Wilde's follow-up to Booksmart.
Which I just rewatched Smart the other day, and that's a
It's
really good movie.
fantastic. It's like the female version of Superbad, but
Yeah.
I think it's even smarter than Superbad.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no.
I feel like this is for her. This just might be a soft. Hopefully, this is just a sophomore slump.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe
Yeah.
that's generous of you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it could happen.
And I
Yeah.
will say, like, my overall feeling on it is that it's a style over substance situation.
Yeah,
And I
agreed.
will say that the cinematographers and the production designers are doing amazing work in this. Like
Right.
they are making the world that's on page like
Yeah.
really amazing looking.
Yeah,
It's just
everybody's bringing their A game. I mean,
Yeah.
even Harry Styles, even though we don't have the most to say, he's trying.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. He doesn't distract from it. It's just the
Yeah.
problem of you have Pew and you have Chris Pine. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a tough act.
and the
to get
one
in.
other thing that this might have been better as like a new Twilight Zone episode
Mhm.
than a
Yeah.
full length movie. I
Right.
think it like especially with the twist and how it plays into a lot of notions of like these sort of modern masculinity
Or Black Mirror,
leaders, or Black Mirror,
Yeah.
like these Jordan Peterson types, like these sort of like wannabe cult leaders, which I
Yeah.
was definitely getting like. It was funny watching this after having watched The Vow Part 2, because the word Vanguard keeps coming up in both of them for the name of the leader, and I just kept thinking, I'm like, the person who wrote this definitely wrote this after watching part 1 of The Vow, because
Okay.
that can't be an accident. The fact that Vanguard and V keeps like showing up all over the place.
It could-
Actually, fun fact, I looked it up. The two Van Dykes are the grandsons of Dick Van Dyke, who worked on the stories. So we had
oh,
we had two descendants of Dick Van Dyke write this.
perfect, perfect. I love it. Also, guys, quick note: John Powell, he did the score, which also kind of like non-existent. I
Yeah.
didn't even notice any score in the film.
that's kind of my. Oh, that's.
I think the problem is the score.
over
Yeah,
last decade.
Yeah, and I love
It's
John-
only
It was
really-
his song.
it's only really
Like it was
prevalent when it's like all the distortion, like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of pop songs, almost to the point of just being overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was just like pop song after pop song after pop song, and like I don't think any scene really got the chance to breathe very much, except
Mm.
for maybe there is a flashback scene that I think you get a little bit of just quiet, and maybe that was like an intentional decision by the sound designers to try to differentiate between the past and the present, that it's just the notion of constant noise, that there's either music or there's Frank's radio hour or there's just the voice of Frank being like, hey, this is, you know, I'm delivering propaganda directly to you through your radio. But either way, it was very noticeable.
It definitely, yeah, they needed to tighten it up, to shorten it. And
Yeah.
that might have enhanced the quality of the film. I don't know. But I wanted to talk real quick about the behind the scenes turbulence that had happened on the set between Wild and Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be Jack in this. And yeah, Rachel, I think you have the whole story.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief.
Yeah.
Basically, this goes back to the casting of Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf was cast on the film. He was supposed to be playing the role that Harry Styles ended up playing in the movie. Shortly into it, according to Shia LaBeouf, there were various conflicts with scheduling, and he chose to leave the project. However, Florence Pugh decided to put out in an interview that she had chosen to fire him from the project because
Olivia Wilde.
Oh, sorry, Olivia Wilde. My apologies. Olivia Wilde, the director and also one of the stars in the movie, put out there that she had chosen to fire him because of the various allegations in the lawsuit against him, and that she was looking out for the safety of her casting crew in this decision. To which Shia LaBeouf kind of pulled a little bit of a Dakota Fanning on Ellen and said, well, you know, that's not true. and jumped in and was like, and sent her an email and laid out that he said, you know, the conversations that we had, and you know that that's not true, and that I'm working very hard to rebuild my family and everything, and to try to rebuild my reputation and to be a better person. So you putting out these things that are not true is not helpful to me in that mission.
Right.
And then he ended up putting out a video that Olivia Wilde had filmed of herself in the car, like many video bloggers these days, filming a video in her car of her calling and leaving a voicemail for Shia LaBeouf, saying basically laying out that she, in her mind, that the problem in all of this is Florence Pugh, that Florence Pugh doesn't want Shia LaBeouf as part of the movie anymore, and says, you know, I really think that we can figure this out. And the poll line that everyone pulled from that was, and I think this might be a wake-up call for Miss Flo, was how she referred to Florence Pugh. She said, this might be a wake-up call for Miss Flo. And needless to say, the video got shared all over the internet. It was just, it was very, very, very bad look for Olivia Wilde, who claimed that, you know, that it's like, oh, I'm looking out for my casting crew, and I did, like, I was gonna fire Shia, like I fired Shia LaBeouf. And then this video comes.
So is it a he said, she said situation? Like who's really to blame here?
I mean, it is, but Shia's got receipts.
Yeah, the problem is that Shia came back and had not only email correspondence between him and Olivia Wilde, but also had this video of Olivia Wilde literally saying in a voicemail to him that, you know, that I think that this is basically Florence's problem, and that maybe there is still a way to figure this out so that Shia can be in the movie.
Oh man.
And so already
And
not
then,
a
I was
good
gonna say,
thing.
and then
deserves
combine
better.
that with the fact that Florence Pugh really shut Olivia Wilde and the movie out as far as doing press goes.
Yeah, well, that also comes down to there were rumors of some issues on set, that Florence was frustrated because she felt like Olivia was not totally present as director, and that she was so caught up in her relationship with Harry Styles, which was beginning as she was still engaged to Jason Sudeikis. Now Jason Sudeikis works with Florence Pugh's now ex, Zach Braff, on Ted Lasso.
Then if you want to peel back the even more, Zach Braff was filming an episode of Ted Lasso in which Florence Pugh was supposed to have a cameo in that was cut from season 2. And so the big rumor being, why was Florence Pugh cut from a cameo in Ted Lasso?
We need like a big web.
Yeah, it is like, I feel like we
So
need to have the
basically, what
chart
it
up
comes
here.
down to is Florence Pugh is put in an uncomfortable situation because she sees a friend of and a coworker of her boyfriend, of her now several year boyfriend, cheating on the guy, and is like, I feel uncomfortable. This is not good.
And then the entertainment tabloids just hate this stuff.
Yeah.
up.
So then jump ahead to the film's premiere. Florence, leading up to the premiere, Florence wasn't posting anything on social media about the movie coming out. Usually when a movie's coming out, they'll have all these scheduled posts. They'll be posting trailers. They'll be talking about, here's where you can see it. Here's the day you can see it. And she wasn't posting anything.
Wow.
And then she shows up at the premiere. The entire cast greets her, hugs her, except for Olivia.
Huh.
And Chris Pine even going above and beyond and had like a little disposable camera and was snapping pictures of her on the red carpet, which was extremely cute.
And I think I read, I don't know if it's accurate, didn't Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine?
That's the next part of this. Then they go through the actual premiere, sit down in the theater, and Harry Styles is like the last one to come in, and he sits down next to Chris Pine and literally spits on him right as he's sitting down.
And it's
And
like
you see Chris Pine's reaction, and he just has this moment where he freezes, and you can see his brain going, I just have to get through the next few hours. Just the next few hours.
So it's a whirlwind of drama.
They should have just made a movie based on that story.
I think
you know,
probably
give it a
will
year.
someday. This is like, I don't know. This is like a kind of like a shit show of like Ishtar and Cleopatra.
I think it's the problem of this was like coming hot off the heels of all the Johnny Depp stuff. So you had a rabid entertainment news thing that was looking for, like, with all the Johnny Depp stuff all gone and that stone bled as dry as they could. Everybody was like, we got this attention, we gotta do it. It's like it was the perfect story for to like what happened on Don't Worry Darlings today.
Oh, well, that's crazy stuff. I love it though. It's very interesting. It makes the film seem a little better, but still, this movie was lackluster for me.
Same here.
Would you guys recommend this to be? Would you want people to see this?
I think that if you have HBO Max and you can stream it, then it's totally worth it. I think for Florence Pugh's performance and for the scene, especially the scenes with her and Chris Pine, I thought were excellent. But just don't have high expectations for I guess like the payoff,
and
because there isn't much there.
I like a lot of aspects of the movie. Harry Styles, again, he didn't impress me. I haven't seen My Policeman yet, so I'm hoping he's better in that. But I don't know if I recommend this. I don't think this is on my radar. It's just Florence. She definitely saves it, and for her alone, it's a good movie. For
I would recommend it to any Florence Pugh completists.
Of course.
Although I don't know if you would be. Although I feel like, given with everything that she went through with that making that movie, I feel like it's almost at the same time a disservice to watch it. Like for her to watch it for her to watch it for her.
True.
Also, there was one last very
because I like to her.
This is a button at the end of the story of the drama. So when Florence Pugh was getting ready and her makeup and stylist people were all working on her, they all wore shirts that said Miss Flo across and also when they posted it on Instagram, they were all captioned with Miss Flo.
Okay.
As a nod to the video from Olivia Wilde and kind of throwing some subtle shade.
I like that. Also,
we get
now
we get to look forward to her in Dune Part 2.
Yeah, another movie that's a lot of style and no substance, in my opinion. But that's a separate discussion. I know, Eric. But as for Don't Worry Darling,
I don't know if I would say like style or substance so much as just very like. like slow,
very bland.
slow.
I think that with Don't Worry, Darling, I think it would have been a lot better if Shia were in it, but you know, that's it's unfortunate that he wasn't involved, that he didn't get the role. All right, guys, so we have another film review coming up, but first I want to just take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more Under the Radar right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending, interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Ren Younger, Under the Radar. And we have some time left, guys. We spent more time than I thought we would on Don't Worry, Darling. A lot more time, actually. But our second film is a little bit more fun, more
Weird.
lighthearted. Yes. We've got Weird.
Truly, well, I would say it's unlike Don't Worry, Darling, this is truly weird.
Yeah. So this is Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and it is a parody of a biopic of Weird Al. And yeah, we've got Daniel Radcliffe in the role, which when I saw the first teaser, I was like, what the hell are they thinking? But you know what? You know, it works. He's a really good actor. He can tackle pretty much any role. And he was just really funny in this. You know,
Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna, Rainn Wilson is Dr. Demento.
It's strange. I going into it, I thought it was going to be more of a serious straight up biopic, and because it wasn't, I was a little disappointed.
No, once I saw the trailer, I was like, because because I've been a Weird Al fan since I was 10 years old. My friend Rob, who's been on here before, he gave me, I remember for my 10th birthday, he gave me Dare to Be Stupid.
Okay.
And I immediately became a fan. So, but like watching and having followed Weird Al Yankovic's career and like music with UHF, the Weird Al Show. Like I saw the trailer for this. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I knew it. I kind of knew this was gonna be a send up of rock biopics, especially because Weird Al Yankovic is not the kind of guy, is not he does not have he's not like one of those guys who led a life of sex and drugs.
No, it's very wholesome.
Yeah. It was a guy who picked up an accordion, played a funny song, got popular on the radio. That's it. That's the story. That's the story.
I will say the one thing that's probably that is not a parody is him recording My Bologna in a bath with a tape recorder in a bath.
That was true. That actually happened.
I don't know. You know, there might be more reality. I mean, we don't know what Weird Al was doing in Mexico when it came to the drug cartels. We don't.
We don't really know his relationship with Madonna.
We don't know his relationship with Madonna. But we don't know if Weird Al's still
focused on that Madonna storyline, and I thought it was real for a second.
Oh no, I knew that was a joke. I knew that was a joke.
They had me going there for a second.
I will say Evan Rachel Wood. I think you could put Evan Rachel Wood would make a legitimately good Madonna in a serious movie.
Yeah.
No, they actually, but no, this I saw this as the spiritual successor to Walk Hard.
Yes.
Like I do not remember the last time I legitimately laughed this hard at a movie.
Yeah.
I was in tears.
I know.
So like the whole
funniest. This is like one of the funniest
Michael
in a while.
Michael Jackson ripping him off for Beat It.
Yes.
I couldn't stop laughing. All the stuff with Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento was so funny, and especially when they go to the pool party where
Oh,
he got
cool party, that
Olive
is-
Tompkins
oh,
as
Pee Wee
Gallagher.
Herman. Yeah, it was slight spoiler there, but
Oh,
I
well,
will say, I think it's Rand Wilson's best role since
oh,
Super. Which,
yeah, I agree. He
Yeah.
de-
yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
I could, I mean, if you're familiar with Dr. Demento,
Yeah.
he nails it. He nails it.
Mhm.
yeah. This movie was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing.
Nice.
It was,
Rachel,
yeah.
what did you think, Rachel?
Oh, I loved it so much. This was exactly and the night that I watched it, it was just like the perfect night that I was like, I want something stupid, I want something funny, I
Mhm.
want, and like when it got to the pool party scene,
Yeah.
and it's just packed with so many comedic actors that I love playing like
80s
real life
celebrities.
people that I love.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the fact that Paula Tompkins shows up to play Gallagher is
Yes.
just so funny to
Rest
me.
in peace,
Rest in
Gallagher.
peace. Yes,
Rest in
another,
peace.
we lost him as well.
Well, and then who,
Yeah.
oh, God, who else?
Um,
I would say you had oh God,
Mhm.
you had Jorma Taconis, Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah, it was just like who's
That
who.
was a great casting.
Yeah.
I was really shocked by that.
Mhm. This was, yeah, and you know what?
I couldn't get. I couldn't find who was playing Elvira.
I paired this with UHF
Yes,
and also The Complete Owl. I don't know if you guys saw that
Yeah.
one. It's a documentary as well, sort of a mockumentary as well, and it
Mm.
kind of feels like this a little bit.
Mm.
And basically, goes through Weird Al's upbringing and his career. That was released in 1985, which is funny because this film, the Daniel Radcliffe film, I think it ends in 1985,
yeah.
even though
That is when we tragically lost Weird Al.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Weird Al.
Which fun little detail about the headstone. Apparently, the headstone was the one prop that Weird Al took from the movie, and he put it up in his backyard in the garden. And apparently, it took his wife a couple weeks to realize that it was there.
Oh,
I think the first time I ever experienced Weird Al was the Weird Al show in 1998.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. I used to get up on Sunday mornings and watch it on CBS.
Saturday mornings, actually.
Well, because I remember later on it was on Sunday
So
mornings.
that was around the time where I stopped watching Saturday morning cartoons, like 98. And Weird Al was a live action show, kind of like
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I mean, I think CBS set him up to be the successor to Pee Wee
Mhm.
Pee Wee.
So it was a nice transition from childhood to puberty, to teenhood, I think. So I want to thank
But
Weird Al for that.
it's too bad. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it only lasted 13 episodes.
I know, and it was really good too. It was fun.
no,
15.
for me,
When I think of puberty, I think of Weird Al.
that accordion. No, for me, it was, I grew up on MTV, and he really was one of the people that took the most advantage of the music videos, and like, especially like with Amish Paradise, when he would,
Mhm.
his videos always were very fun to watch on MTV. And I remember actually there was a VH1 behind the music for Weird Al, which they go into depth about how uninteresting his background is.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Also,
remember that.
I also, one of the first concerts I ever went to was in 2003. It was the Poodle Hat tour.
I saw him on that tour in 2004. I remember.
Okay.
I remember being kind of underwhelmed back then because it was just most of his set was just a medley.
Oh, I love the medley. That's like my
Whereas I saw him about a few years ago, I saw him at Forest Hill Stadium.
favorite. You were there too.
Yes.
Okay.
And, I think that and honestly,
was a good one.
a much better show.
That was a
I
fun
don't
one.
know what to remember. You took
Oh,
me to a show.
it was the White and Nerdy
White
tour.
Nerd Tour?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I remember. We went to go see him when he came through.
Yeah, through
Cedar
Cedar
Rapids,
Rapids.
yeah.
Yep, we went to go see him.
Oh, that's awesome. He's such a great showman, and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think any other individual, like artist, who like really has that energy, and he's just one of a kind. And I just hope he keeps going.
I know.
Yeah.
I was very.
my parents.
61, 62.
I was also very happy to hear that him and Coolio really buried the hatchet finally before.
Yeah.
Like reading that story of that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But knowing that Coolio was actually like, yeah, it was stupid. Song's great. Amish Paradise is great. I don't know why I gave him such a hard time.
So good. But yeah, this fun is just so zany, so much fun. you know, it gives me another reason to love Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh yeah.
I didn't need another reason. I already.
I mean, I was never a Harry. I mean, I was never a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
But you know,
His post Harry Potter work is really.
But
good.
yeah, I really like his post Harry Potter work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's the fact that he is in a very special place where he has a long career ahead of him, and he just gets to do whatever's interesting to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he gets to have fun. He gets to do, and it's like, and he's taking full advantage of that freedom.
Yeah, he's like, it's like he's doing Weird Al and then immediately also doing press for, he's doing a stage production of Merrily We Roll Along
Right,
here in
that's
New
right.
York. And it's like the run has sold out. It sold out almost immediately after the tickets went on sale.
Well, I can tell we got to see him on Broadway for Promises, Promises.
Not
Oh,
probably.
not Promises. Sorry, not
For,
Promises.
How to Succeed
I've
in-
in business without even
nice.
trying. And he was fantastic. It was him and John Larroquette, and they were amazing together.
That's a good duo right there.
Yeah, the two of them were fantastic.
I love that. Yeah, and he's only 33 years old, Radcliffe, and so far he's picked some really, really great projects. And
Yes, yeah.
positive he'll pick even better ones in the future. I just weird the
Swiss Army Man alone makes him good in my book.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he takes chances, which is amazing.
Mhm.
Swiss Army Man is another example. Of,
Yes.
Yep, I love that movie.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, wow, I can't believe we spent so much time.
You know
talking
what?
about other movies.
Can I just ask, can everyone say their favorite Weird Al song?
All right.
Oh, well, I like the medley from Poodle Hat, the polka medley that he did. It just he just combined so many great sounds into one track, and yeah, it's really my bologna, my bologna, excuse me, and of course, Eat It is a classic.
Yeah.
Amish Paradise.
It's just amazing to me that all these artists gave him permission.
I would say, I don't know, for his parodies, I'd say, I don't know, for me, it's a toss up between Eat It, Yoda, and then I don't know, probably I would say either Jurassic Park or I Lost on Jeopardy.
Mhm.
And then, but although I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for his original material,
Mhm.
like Slime Creatures from Outer Space, Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Albuquerque is probably the
That's-
best of his
that's definitely
original
one of mine.
material. Yeah.
But I'm just curious about all these artists and how they give him permission to use his music, use their
Yeah.
music.
I think
Well-
Eminem's the only one he's ever had a fight with over.
Yeah.
Prince wouldn't let him.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
And then there was the brief spat with Coolio, but
And then he tried to get permission from Paul McCartney to do a parody of Live and Let Die. But Paul McCartney refused to allow it because the song he was going to call it Chicken Pot Pie. And with Paul, and okay, so Weird Al Yankovic himself is actually a vegan, but
Yeah.
but Paul McCartney takes vegetarianism very seriously, so he
Right,
said
right.
no.
Ridiculous. All right. Well, so
Oh, Fat. That's another parody of his that I love.
Mhm, mhm.
and I do like White Nerdy. That is
Yeah,
good.
White Nerdy is great. If only for the music video with Donny Osmond showing up
Yes.
to like be his backup dancer.
and you know what? Another good movie that if you just want to turn your brain off for an hour.
UHF.
Yeah, thank you. UHF.
UHF is
Actually, the
fantastic.
title track to UHF is one of my favorite songs of his.
Mhm. Also, the theme to the Weird Al show is great. So yeah, there's a lot out there, and hopefully Weird Al will give us more beautiful stuff. So yeah, you can check out Weird the Al Yankovic Story on Roku, and yeah, I think this deserved a big screen release.
I think so too.
Oh yeah,
amazing on the.
I would have loved to like with how much I was laughing. I could have definitely that would have been
Yeah,
great
I think
having a full audience to laugh.
Yeah.
there were a couple cities that did big screen,
Okay.
like one night only type things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know,
think
and I know
they did-
it premiered Toronto,
Okay.
Toronto International Film Festival, and then I was yesterday on my Facebook feed. I saw something about like some theater in Tennessee was in like I think it was in Knoxville, Tennessee. They were doing a double feature of this movie and UHF,
Nice.
which I wish they would do that here.
Maybe they
That's a
will.
good double feature.
Yeah,
We'll see. All right, guys. So that's on Roku right now.
And I think Weird Al Yankovic has a link to it on his Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So if you don't have Roku, you can watch it on there.
All right. Thank you for that. So, all right. So I think it's unanimous. We all are fans of Weird.
Yeah, this is like definitely going on my best of 2022 list.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely my favorite comedy this year.
Yeah, I'll have to think about adding it to my list. I'm on the fence, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, guys, so I just want to talk about some coming attractions for this week that this episode is airing. We've got Violent Night, and it is David Harbour as Santa Claus. It's an action movie. Looks
Action comedy.
ridiculous. We also have an action thriller with Robert De Niro called Savage Salvation. We have a Liam Neeson thriller, surprise, surprise, called Marlowe. And lastly, we have a horror film with
A lot of unknown.
Yeah, for a second I thought that
Haley Amanda Borja.
I thought that said Haley Steinfeld for a second, but
Huh.
I was mistaken. No, Safe Neighborhood. So that rounds out the list of new releases for this week. I
Violent Night.
also wanted to give a plug for Warner Brothers like they needed, but
Considering that they gutted their slate for the remainder of the year because
Mhm.
Don't Worry, Darling and Black Adam are the only two movies
Mhm.
Yeah.
showing for the remainder of the year.
Okay,
Mhm.
there you go.
Or they're the ones that are putting out
Still
for the remainder.
holding out hope for back.
So, Eric, you're probably gonna get a kick out of this. We got some animated adventures here. We got Batman: The Long Halloween on 4K. There you go.
All right.
All righty. We also have Batman Superman Battle of the Super Sons. So check that out. Great cover there. Beautiful.
Mhm.
And lastly, to round out that list, we've got Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind, also on
geez.
4K. So these will make great stocking stuffers, and yeah, fun stuff right there.
I'm trying to remember if Conroy did Batman in either one of those.
No,
Because I
did
know
not.
that when it comes
Either?
to a lot of before Conroy passed away, kind of the other person that was also a very big Batman voice was Bruce Greenwood.
Oh yeah, he played John F. Kennedy. He was also in Father's Day.
Yeah, but
He's a good actor.
Greenwood does do a really good Batman. He did because he did Batman for like Young Justice. So Greenwood has done like a lot of Batman voice too. So I know kind of when it comes to animated, him and Conroy would kind of pass off on Lucas. So I'm not sure who voiced Batman in those two.
Pass the baton.
Yeah.
So, all right. So those are now out on 4K, courtesy of Warner Brothers Home Video. So check that out, guys. And so we have a couple minutes left, and I just want to go around and just plug whatever. Forrest, anything for you, sir?
Well, okay, so just last week, my Amityville Thanksgiving, my feature film my feature film debut as an actor came out.
All right.
It's my first time acting in a feature film.
Do you have a speaking part?
I do. I play
Nice.
the Reaper,
All right.
and I basically I'm trying to angle this so I can get so I don't get that glare and not have my face covered.
Oh, I hear you. I'll do it.
All right, but yeah, I play the Reaper. I basically so originally my original role was I was supposed to get killed. I was supposed to play a cop and then get my head die and then get killed by having my head crushed. But
Nice.
the day I came to set, they threw out that script and said they gave me a black robe, put some makeup on me, and gave me a prop weapon and said, "You're doing the killing."
Okay.
So I get to be my own Freddy and Jason with this role.
Oh wow.
It was a lot of fun.
And in the same year, right? You were also Toxie.
The Toxic Avenger in a promo for Troma.
That's
Well,
great.
that was last year, but I filmed both those roles back to back.
Nice, nice. Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Very good.
Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been getting coverage from a lot of them, like from some of major horror and entertainment magazines and websites like Fangoria, Bloody
Mhm.
Disgusting,
Mhm.
Dread Central,
Nice.
Vulture. We got mentioned in Vulture. So it's pretty great, and Rue Morgue. It's been really crazy seeing all these publications that I've been following for years
Right.
cover, talk about something talk about a project that I'm part of.
That's amazing.
And then I was also in this monster movie that came out a couple weeks ago called on Halloween, called Night of the Day of the Tompkins Weed Monster
Mhm.
in 3D. You can watch it on Dread Central. I play the titular weed monster who I go around terrorizing stoners around Lower Manhattan.
Now, do you like being typecast as a monster, sir?
I mean, 'cause I love, as far I love, as a growing up, I admired like actors like Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney, Kane Hodder, Robert
Right.
Englund.
Sure.
I like those because they get to have all those guys get to have all the fun roles.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's true.
Quick question. What Batman villain would you envision yourself playing? I'm just curious.
What Batman villain would I envision? Okay, so by the way, first of all, I should disclose that as a kid, I wanted to be Batman, but
Who didn't?
like after my experience playing Toxie, and then based on what I've heard every Batman actor say about wearing the costume,
Mm.
I'm like, okay, that's a little too claustrophobic for me.
I don't know. Maybe you could be the ventriloquist.
Maybe
I could see you as that.
I think if I was to be a Batman villain,
Well, I love the Riddler. He's just very stylish. I would.
yeah, I mean, Two-Face is my favorite personally, but I don't think I'd be Two-Face. I don't know.
How about you guys? I'm just curious.
Maybe Film Freak.
If you could be a super villain, who would you be?
Oh man, that's a big one.
Oh yeah.
That's a big one.
Oh my gosh.
Ah,
We could come back to you. I mean, for another episode.
Yeah, yeah. Let me give some thought to that next time.
All right.
Next time.
It just came to me. It just
And I just wanted to disclose
Yes.
that unlike other Amityville movies, which were filmed in New Jersey or California or Canada, this is to my knowledge, the only Amityville movie actually filmed on Long Island.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good trivia.
Actually, you know what? I do have my answer, but I don't know if it falls into what you're asking because it's not a superhero villain. It's just a villain. If I
Yeah.
could play any villain, I would want to be Agatha Trunchbull from Matilda.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That would be a great Halloween. That'd be a good cosplay for sure.
Wait, that reminds me. Because I know they did a remake with Emma Thompson as the Trunchbull. Has that come out yet?
I don't think
It is coming out. Actually, it's coming out the week of my birthday.
Oh.
December. I know it's the week of December 5th is when it's coming out on Netflix, but then it comes out in theaters December 25th. So Christmas release.
All right. Cool. And how about you guys? Any plugs for you tonight?
Stop by the Law of Donut Engineering. We will have like every month we change up our donuts, and we've got some really amazing holiday flavors going on right now, and ones that are going to be revealed soon. So
Sounds good. Mr. Godfrey, anything?
no. Check out her donuts.
I have to ask every time. You know.
No,
you know what? There is one other thing I would like to plug. I want to give a quick plug to, not that it needs it, but Disney's upcoming animated film Strange World, which is written by former Weird Downtown Theater playwright Qui Wen, who previously did Riot and the Last Dragon for Disney.
Nice.
I saw something in the Daily News yesterday. Apparently, Ben Shapiro's blasting it. So if Ben Shapiro hates it, then it's probably worth seeing.
It's starring a Mexican family, so it surprised me.
All right. Well, that's awesome, guys. And yeah, I think that about does it for this episode of Under the Radar. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you, guys. And also, I want to tell everyone watching and listening, if you want to catch brand new episodes of Under the Radar, you can tune in Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern on cable TV channels, FiOS 34, RCN Astound 83, and Spectrum 56 1996. Also, feel free to subscribe to the Under the Radar YouTube channel and check out the previous content there as well. So, guys, thank you. This was a great night. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm Rain Younger, Under the Radar. See you soon.